We are so blessed to have an incredible woman of God, but not just that, real, authentic, powerful, a kingdom woman who walks the walk, talks the talk, and then helps others really get healing and understand who they are in Christ and what kingdom living is all about. And so, Dr. Candice, thank you for being here, and thank you. It's awesome when you have mutual friends, but I have followed you from afar for a long time. I would say about a year and a half, 2 years ago, or it was before COVID, I found your course on the Hebrew months. I'm like, yes, woo! And I was so excited, and so just to meet you and converse with you. And, sometimes we just feel all alone, and then we talk and we hear all these similarities, and all these cool things. And, God is on the move. That's my favorite line from Narnia is Aslan is on the move, and he's doing great things. And so I can't wait just to hear about your project, this book, empowering us and equipping us to live the way we were created to live.
Oh, thank you so much, Pastor Jen. I feel so honored to be a guest on your show. You're so beautiful. And you have just such an authentic personality. And so thank you for having me be a guest today. I'm really excited to be able to share with the people what God is doing.
Yay. So tell me a little bit about your family.
Well, I have an amazing husband. We've been married for 32 years.
Woohoo!
Yes.
Good
yeah.
job, good
I
job,
know.
good job, good girl.
Woo. He's a retired pastor.
All right.
Actually, we just recently retired from pastoring, and it was quite a transition for us. But the Lord has really moved us out in a whole lot of other arenas, Sometimes good things have to end, but other things, other seasons are there. And so we've stepped into a new season. And my children have been serving in ministry, and so they're stepping into some new seasons too as well. But it's all good. It's all God. It's all exciting, You have to take those leap of faith when you hear the Lord,
You do.
And be obedient to what it is that He's telling you.
Yeah.
And it's an honor to serve Him in all kinds of capacity. And sometimes we don't know what doors He's opening up, and so we're willing to go through the process of letting some things go that are even so important and so important to our heart. And so when it was time for us to move on, it was hard. But it was a blessing because I knew that God had great things in store. And I know that some people are watching today and they're going through that right now, and we're actually in a transition time on the Hebrew calendar. Do you know, this is a time where we remember that the Lord blessed the Israelites as they were going across the wilderness for all those years, and He gave them manna, quail, and water. The month of Iyar, it's a time where we hold fast to the supernatural of God, but we have to trust Him in everything. And so when He says it's time to move on, we have to trust Him, and we have to trust in His goodness and His love and His prosperity and the fact that we're His kingdom priests that He's called unto Himself. That's what He spoke in the month of Sivan when He came down and He gave the Torah to the people, and He said, you are going to be a holy nation, my kingdom of priests. And I sit and I revel in that, and I think, wow, He just wants to draw me near to Him. And so on this journey that I'm on now, He's just drawing me nearer to Him in a way that I wasn't before. Yeah. And we have to take these leaps of faith, and we get drawn nearer. So I'm nearer in a new space. My husband's nearer in a new space, and our children are as well. But it's good because once you're called, you stay called. Called, I'm anointed, I'm appointed, I'm set apart. To minister the gospel is a part of who I am. It's just that now He's broadened me into other realms. He says, it's time for my word to go beyond. Yeah. And you nurtured a beautiful group of people, and you raised them up, and you sent them out. And now I'm sending you to go out. And He was the great apostolos, right? He was the great. He says, I am the sent one, right? Yeah. And so we're following after Him. And so, that's kind of a long interlude, but I know God is working right now, and I know your viewers too. Some of you are watching the show and you're transitioning, and just know that transition is a part of life. It's a part of a process, but He's with us and He's growing us and growing us. And so He's growing me new because I was willing to say yes, even though I was afraid to let things go. Yeah. So it's the story.
Okay, so you are ministering to me and the viewers, because we're all in transition, or we are all going to be in transition, or we're all coming out of transition. But my husband and I pastored for 32 years, and we're in that transition, and it is hard to let go.
Yes.
And it seems easy in theory until he really asks you to obey him. And so thank you for your obedience and shining the light. And you're a few months ahead of us, but it encourages my heart. And when you talk about the Hebrew calendar, my baby jumps, like Mary and Elizabeth. I love hearing that. That's fresh oil. And thank you. Thank you for saying yes to the Lord.
Well, thank you for saying yes, too, because you have this amazing program that is reaching all of these viewers and touching people's lives. And when we're faithful in a certain season of our life, and God begins to open up the doors, and we step through portals that position us for these new seasons, because portals are all about openings from heaven, that God's calling us to step into those places and embark on that new journey. And so when we're willing to let one aspect of our life go, it was good. And I think that's really what's the most difficult thing, Jen, is when something is good, but God's offering us a better, right? It's easy to leave something that's not good. Okay.
Right, you're
okay. Right. Because our souls have been equipped to say, I'm not fitting in this space anymore.
Yeah.
But when we're asked to leave something good because He's taking us to something better for us in that season, then we have to. It's more painful because we're making that choice to let a good thing go. It's a little bit easier to let a bad thing go, but to let a good thing go. But I believe that there's a greater grace that comes because the Lord knows we had to really obey. It can be sometimes easier to obey when something's not good.
That's right.
But it's more difficult to obey when something is good.
Yeah.